and that is going to be unique to each lesson. So now on all of your lessons, you can enter in your overview, and whatever you put in is going to populate right here on this overview box. In this video, I show you how you can unlock awesome design for your LifterLMS website via Elementor. Dale from the Lifter office hours asked a question about how to kind of dynamically populate content within a LifterLMS template on a lesson, so you can have the same look on all of your lessons, but then kind of populate the content in a little bit of a different way. So you can have tabs with like an overview and a workbook. And in this video, I break down how you can create this layout and some really awesome things you can do. This video is a little bit of a longer one and it can be a little bit confusing, but if you stick till the end, you'll really understand how to unlock some really awesome design and have a lesson layout like this, where you have like your overview and your workbook and any other fields you want that will automatically populate on your lessons. All right, so the first thing we need to do is check out what the course layout currently looks like. So I'm gonna head to courses here and then view. This is what LifterLMS looks like out of the box with, I'm currently using the Cadence theme, and let's check out what a lesson looks like. I don't have any Elementor templates applied yet, but we'll get that set up here. So this is what LifterLMS looks like out of the box, and if we wanna really customize the layout of this, we'll need a template in Elementor. So if I go back to the WordPress dashboard, and we'll want to check out templates and add new. This is where you can create templates for things like a header. This site currently has a header template. That's going to be the header that displays across my entire website. You can do a footer. You can create a template for blog posts. So blog posts are all going to follow a certain layout, but we're going to create a template for a lesson specifically. We can also do courses, but I'll select single right here. And then lesson is not an option on this list. That's why we need the LifterLMS plugin from Tangible. So let me go activate that. I do have that plugin installed, and if you aren't working with the LifterLMS plugin, this plugin is necessary to allow you to use templates on LifterLMS lessons to say, I want all of my lessons to look this one specific way. So now that it's activated, I can go to templates and then add new again. When I select single, lesson is now an option I can create a template for. So I'll call it template, lesson template. Then from here, I'm gonna X out of this pop-up window, and this is where I can start to build out my lesson template. So the first thing I'm gonna do here is add in a spot for the lesson title. So I'll add in a heading, and just going to duplicate this here so I have a second column. And I do have another video going through how you can create a lesson template with LifterLMS. So I'm going to move a little faster here, but I have that other video I'll link to down in the description if you want to check out kind of how this template system works and a little more of a detailed breakdown of it. So we'll take a course outline and put it right here. And then right here, I want to set this to be my lesson title. Then from here, I'll add in my featured video, or it's actually called like lesson video, but that's going to take the featured video and put it in right there. All right, so whatever the lesson featured video is going to go here. Whatever the lesson title is going to go right on the top here. Then I'm going to add in a tabs content, because I want to have some tabs on my lesson to say maybe like download the workbook, and I can add in some other things here too, like lesson instructor or lesson overview. I could add in as a tab. All right, so I'm going to call this one lesson overview. This one's going to be my lesson workbook. Let me actually remove lesson. I'll just call it overview and workbook. All right. Then from here, let me add one more item. Well, to keep it simple, I'll just stick with these two for now. So now I have my overview and workbook. I can style all this up in Elementor, but for now, that's going to be good. So let me publish, display this template on all of my lessons. Now let's go take a look again at what the course layout looks like. So if I open up my courses here, view course, the course should look exactly the same, but the lessons will look completely different from what we saw before. There we go. So this is the lesson layout, the video is missing. It's the first thing I noticed there. So let me actually make sure there is a featured video on this. Oh, okay. So this isn't actually the featured video. This video is just embedded in the content. So that's not going to show up. So let me actually copy this link and put this link in the featured video area rather than where it is. So I'm going to put it right there in the featured video area of LifterLMS, update, and then reload over here. And now our video should display there. And there we go. So now our video is going to display here. We have our outline, title, and overview and workbook. The problem is the overview and workbook are just displaying lorem ipsum. So let's dive into how we can change that. I'm going to launch the Elementor editor again on my template here, my lesson template, and we'll take a look at this. So what I can do is actually add content into these tabs here, but I can only add in text content. I can't add in like a button or something if I wanted to here. So we want to add in maybe for the overview is probably fine if I have content, but maybe I want to have buttons or images or things like that. And it's a little hard to work with this editor. So I'm going to want to add a custom field to my LifterLMS lessons. That way I can have an overview, because if we open the lesson editor here, we have our content area, we have the video URL, but there's no place for me to put like an overview, and there's no place for me to put in maybe like a workbook download. Unless I wanted to put it all on one page, I could do that setup. But if you want to set up a multiple tab content like I have here, I'll want to add some custom fields, and I'll show you how to do that. So if you go to plugins, add new, we're going to need a free plugin called Advanced Custom Fields. This is going to allow us to add some custom fields to our WordPress posts. So if you search up Advanced Custom Fields in the WordPress repository, you'll see that there. I'm going to click Install and Activate. And from here, we can add some fields to our lessons. All right, that's installed. Go ahead and activate that. All right, awesome. So now that that's installed and activated, we have this option on the side, custom fields. If I click on this, it'll take me to all my custom field groups. I don't have any created yet, so let's add new. And I'll call it lesson custom fields. Then I would like to add a field to my lesson. The field I want to add is going to be overview. So this is going to be my lesson overview, and the what type of field do you want this to be? I'm going to say a WYSIWYG editor. That's going to be that similar to this style of editor right here is going to appear on my lessons. So I want that to be the editor I have. I don't want it to be required, and really all I have to fill out is just what do you want your field to be called and what type of field is it. So let me add another field for workbook. So I'll call it, maybe this will be the workbook download link. So if I have a PDF workbook I want to include with all my lessons, I'm going to upload that PDF to the WordPress media library, or you can upload it to Amazon S3 or somewhere else and just put your link in each of your lessons. So I'm just going to call it workbook download link. Wherever you have that stored, you're going to want to put a link to your workbook. And this is actually going to be a text field, so I can just leave it as a text field. Then I'm going to publish this, or actually before I publish, we need to say what post type do you want this to apply to? So currently this is going to apply to blog posts. We don't want an overview and workbook on blog posts. We want an overview and workbook on a lesson. So I need to select that right here, lesson, and now I can go ahead and publish. So once that finishes publishing there, I can reload my lesson editor here under edit on all your lessons. Now you'll see at the bottom, we have overview and workbook download link. These are the custom fields I just put on there. So this is where I can type my lesson overview. Then I have a workbook download link. Let me go download a sample PDF here. This will be a sample PDF that I'm going to use as a workbook sample. All right, awesome. So now I need to, let me go upload this to my media library here, my workbook, and that is where I'm going to get my link from. So That's uploading to my library. All right, it's completed. So this is the link to my workbook. And if you're hosting on Amazon S3, Google Drive, or somewhere else, you'll just want to get the link to the file. So download link, that's going to be my WP content sample PDF there. All right, so now I have my overview and my workbook on here. So let's update and see what happens. All right, reload here. And nothing should really happen because we didn't change the template. Just because I added content to my lesson in the overview and workbook, we didn't actually map it to here. It's nowhere in the Elementor template is it told display the overview here. So that's the next step we need to do. So the step for that would be to create a little block, or a block that we can use a shortcode to put right here in this overview box on my template here. What content's going to be displayed here? We want to display our lesson overview. I'm going to want to go to templates, add new, and this is where I will create what content goes in the overview box on my lessons. So I'm going to create a single page, and I'm going to create a overview content for lessons. Go ahead and create that as a template. And in Elementor, a template can be like a lesson template that you apply to all your lessons, or it could be an individual section template. So template can mean a couple of different things, and we're kind of running into a little bit of that confusion. But if you stick with me in the video here, you'll see exactly what's going on. So I'm going to go to settings in the corner there and say page layout Elementor canvas. This is going to remove the header and footer because I don't really need that in my lesson overview. All we need is just a little box with some content. So I'm going to take the text editor field here, put it right in my Elementor template. I'm going to dynamically populate this field by clicking on this here, dynamic tags. This is going to be what content do you want to appear here? I want some advanced custom field content because we created our lesson overview with advanced custom fields, overview. So whatever the overview is on any given post is going to populate right here. And that can be a little confusing, but let me save my template without any display conditions. And this will make a lot of sense right here in a second. So now that I've published my template, I'm going to exit to dashboard. I'm going to leave the template here, and I need to go find a little shortcode that I can use to display my template. So overview content for lessons. I'm going to take this little Elementor shortcode here and place it in my lesson template on the overview box. So let me get rid of the lorem ipsum and replace it. So whatever content is in the lesson overview on the lesson post type, also known as whatever lesson's content's going to be right here in my overview custom field, is going to be populated in this template that is embedded into my lesson template. It's a little bit layered, but it can create some awesome results. So let me update that and reload, and now we should see a difference. So that lorem ipsum turns into lesson overview here. So now that's actually what's on that given lesson. If I go to what is LifterLMS, another lesson that I haven't entered an overview, the overview is blank. But if I were to edit the lesson and enter an overview, now that's going to be what appears there. So let me go to the bottom and enter an overview. All right, now let's reload. Now that overview is going to populate right here. What I just typed in that box is going to populate right here in the overview. And that is going to be unique to each lesson. So now in all of your lessons, you can enter in your overview, and whatever you put in is going to populate right here on this overview box. The next thing to do is the workbook. So the workbook is still lorem ipsum, so we're going to go through the same process of creating a template again. Just like we did overview content for lessons, I'm going to say single page. This is going to be workbook content for lessons. So this is for that workbook tab. We're going to create the content right here. X out of this pop-up here. Again, we're going to go to Elementor Canvas because I don't want to display my header and footer. I just want to display the content. All right, there we go. So now I'm going to add in a button And you can add in whatever Elementor widgets you want to here. You just need to kind of understand that that's going to be displayed in the confines of this little box here. So I'm going to put in a button, and I'll call it Download Workbook Now. And then, of course, you could style it up a little bit with the Elementor styling. But pretty much what we need to do is have the link, like where is the link for this button? So the link for this button is going to be whatever you enter in the workbook download link. We want whatever you put here, that's going to be the link for the button. So I need to go to Dynamic, select Custom Fields, and which custom field? The workbook download link. So then I can go ahead and publish that. No display conditions, save and close. This is just a single template. Let me leave out of Elementor here. We need to go grab the shortcode and add the shortcode to our lesson template in that other tab. Just like we added the shortcode for the lesson overview, we need to now add the shortcode for the workbook content. So head back into your lesson template. Under workbook, we're going to replace with this template 397. Then I'm going to update that. And now if I go back to a lesson and reload, that workbook tab will now be populated with that button. And if I click on download here, this is the lesson I was working on. If I click download workbook now, it's going to download the PDF for me. And if you wanted that to open in a new tab, you come back into your workbook content area and say that you want that button to open in a new tab. I have to reload this page. My link here is a little too long, so it's making it so I can't click on the actual button settings. There we go, link options. Open a new window. So this is actually going to upload or open the PDF in a new window. Now that I updated this, let's try that again. Reload here on my lesson, workbook, and now that's opening in a new window for me. So any changes you make on your workbook tab content template right here, that's going to be reflected in this little box right here on your lesson template. So you can add more tabs and use this same strategy of adding advanced custom fields to your lessons, and whatever content is in your lessons for the overview and the workbook and any other fields that you add can be populated, just like I did in the tutorial here, onto tabs. And really, this is a powerful tool. You can take these shortcodes with Elementor and really put them anywhere. You know, I didn't have to put the button, this shortcode right here, I didn't have to put it right in the workbook tab. I could put it on the top above the area here if I would rather have it there. Let me show you what that would look like. And understanding that you can really move these templates around anywhere you want is a super powerful thing. So let me add the template up there and then reload. You can actually see a preview right here. It's going to be kind of exactly the same as I have it there. So I can have my button up there in the corner above the outline. So that's a really neat feature where you can really just embed these templates anywhere you want, and then you can customize what kind of content is in those templates from the back end of WordPress in your template. So I could even add more content here if I had multiple buttons I wanted to display, or if I had text I wanted to add on there, I could do that super easily. And those changes will be reflected anywhere that template shortcode is embedded. So that is a super cool feature of understanding how you can take these shortcodes and embed them anywhere you want to on your website.